Well, I mean, even back in the day, you found the guy that did the bank-owned
Right,
properties, right? And
right,
kind of mentored from him. And
right,
then now again here. So that's
right.
great. Let's talk about the social because you and I run with the same company doing with Be Real and
Yeah.
Brandon. He's ridiculous. Um, how did you actually like take the step and say, "Hey, I want to get into that"?
Uh, he, a girl in my office, or that was on our team, she said, you should go try him out. He makes it really easy. And then I took actually, it was one of your classes on the AI thing, and he sponsored it. And he's like, hey, since you did it, I'll knock $50 off. So I was like, oh, great time. I heard about him. So I jumped in there and, he already had the scripts and stuff like that. So he made it super easy because, like most people, afraid of talking on camera. You start stuttering. I mean, actually, I still stutter on them, but but I think everybody does.
Yep.
And just made it kind of easy. And then, so the first couple times I rolled with his scripts, and then I just started. I got tired of like I would see other like realtors. I'm like, we're going to the same place, doing the same scripts. So then I just started writing my own stuff. So.
Did you find that that creativity came easier now because you had gotten so many of the scripts before?
Um, yes and no. I try to like a lot of my scripts come from maybe questions that like people have, like common questions. Like a lot of people say like, "Oh, I don't know the content come up to." I'm like, "Well, what are your clients asking you?
Hmm.
That's your content."
Do you store that somewhere? Like, do you keep track of that in your phone or?
When I think about it, I'll just like put a note down and
Hmm.
stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it comes very, as you spend a lot of time writing content.
Yeah, and I do the same like you. I write down the stuff that I hear, and maybe I saw someone's post,
Right,
or I saw an article, or a client asked me a question. I'm like, well,
right,
that's a good one. I've heard that twice this week.
right,
And so I will write that down in the notes on my phone. And then later on, when I come in here to our studio with Anthony, I'm like, hey, here's something I want to talk about.
right.
And we'll just come through with, the verbiage and the hooks and the call to actions and whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, and I tell people, don't be afraid to copy other people's stuff. No one's coming up with their own. I mean, stuff. I mean, so everyone's copying someone. Just take someone's idea and change it for yourself and make it your own style. And that's a good way to come up with content, especially at first. I mean, I've copied a lot of people's stuff.
Same. And I use what I like what you said there was your own style. We
Yeah,
talked earlier
yeah,
about that too, of having your own, just succumbing to your own,
right,
however you
right.
walk, talk, enunciate, like don't try to copy someone else's, be yourself.
Yeah, that's the hardest time sometimes because you'll see someone that's like very successful, or they look very successful, or their videos are very good. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna do exactly him, try to be like him, which you can do a little bit, but then you start realizing, man, this is more difficult, and it's really just not me. And I think you're judging yourself worse than what other people are judging you. So when people actually they're like, man, I really like that one. I'm like, really? Because that was just kind of just me.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's fast forward to today, right? We're in an interesting environment. What are you doing to generate leads right now? We just talked about social, um, and we can go deeper into that. What other avenues are you?
Going back to a lot of basics, open houses, uh, you know, learning how to throw a proper open house, learn how to talk to people. You know,
What's a proper open house look like?
oh, well, I mean, signage, and then, learn how to talk to people and stuff, not just like, oh, hey, can you please just sign in, and are you working with a realtor and whatever? Like, you just got to learn how to like ask the right questions.
What's some of the questions you ask to make people feel a little more comfortable and open up to you?
Well, I kind of start off like, well, like, what brought you in? Was it the signs? Because if it's the signs, you're just driving by. But if they tell you like, no, I saw you online. Well, if they say I saw you on Zillow online, they're actively looking.
Hmm.
So you know how to kind of approach them. You
That's a
know,
good one.
yeah.
Yeah. Someone once had told me they ask, which house in the neighborhood do you own?
That's that.
And they go, oh, that one.
Yeah.
Or they go, oh, no, I don't own the neighborhood. We're looking to be in here. And like, oh, what brings you to this neighborhood? Or,
Right.
what about the neighborhood you really like?
Right.
And that's the same as if they said, well, we live, hey, what brought you to this neighborhood to live here?
Right.
Right. And I'm like,
Yeah, I
oh, we've
think
lived
most
here for,
agents, they try to make it more about themselves, or like how great they are or whatever. It's instead of like truly asking their clients what they need or what they want, and kind of So I do that too, So I kind of like, like, what are you looking for,